Okay, Shane Simmons, the Appalachian Project. Today's adventure, as you can tell from the sun, will begin in Jewell Ridge, Virginia. And Jewell Ridge is one of the nicer coal camps you'll see these days. Still very well populated and well maintained for the most part. By and large, these houses have really stayed kept up and adjusted to the changing times. A lot of people put new siding on, updated, and that type of thing, as you can see from the video. Jewell Ridge was a very large employer and coal producer in Tazewell County, and we're coming up on the coal company store and where the corporate offices were as well. Didn't see that all that often. You usually saw the store a little bit separate, but occasionally you ran up on these. So as you can see, the store is in pretty rough shape. And it's made of brick, so the core of it is still standing, but unfortunately Father Time and Mother Nature have put a double whammy on it, and some windows have busted out, looks like. They've got some damage to them, and it's just a matter of time before this is going to be continue to deteriorate if something isn't done, and which I would love to see, and I'm sure a lot of the locals would too. Now the problem is, why you think, well, why don't somebody expend the money to fix it up? Obviously the first problem is money. Where you're going to get that from, even if you found a grant. That's a considerable amount of money to fix one of these things up. And then when it was fixed, what would you do with the, how would you heat it and maintain it and all that? And it's a very expensive prospect. Is it worth it? Yeah, it probably is. But, you know, all kinds of things you could do with it. Make it a museum. There's a lot of people who spent some time working for this mines and would love to see it rebuilt. But again, getting the money to do that and the money to maintain it becomes the issue, and it's really not going to draw that many people because Jewell Ridge itself is pretty high up on the mountain, so it's not going to draw the casual tourist. So you're really just going looking for the hardcore people that really want to see the town. And you could say, well, you can make a community center, but they already have one. They converted the old elementary school into that, so there's really not that much demand for a couple of different community centers. I've always loved this old fire hydrant. It's a tiny little thing, and it obviously dates back a good way itself. And they had this nice rock wall. Jewell Ridge was built one of the more elaborate coal camps. One of the reasons it still thrives today is because of that. They spent the money on it. It was locally built as well. A St. Clair fellow from Tazewell County really took a lot of pride in building the camp. So again, that's one of the reasons it thrives now. And it was also, unlike a lot of your other camps, for example, Pocahontas was very much made up of immigrants and African Americans who they recruited to the area. This was mostly local people. They were able to find enough people who were subsistence farmers and that type of thing to come and work at the mines, which would explain my family. My grandfather worked for Jewell Ridge Coal Corporation. While he didn't actually live in the camp, he kept his own house, but they would farm on the side, and then he would work in the mines for money as well. There's a changing economy then. People couldn't just, you wouldn't just get money from your farming, and you needed money for additional things, so a lot of people come here to work and make that money. And here's the Presbyterian Church, and this is, as you will always see in these coal camps, the church is usually the best maintained building in the whole place. Here's a volunteer fire department and a couple old dogs looking at me. I don't think he's too impressed with me, so we'll keep on moving. So Jewell Ridge was a major producer of coal nationally, and a lot of the people who live up here still take a lot of pride in it. There's a lot of community. There's a really tight-knit community. They do things here, and even now at the community center, they try to keep a very tight community atmosphere, and it really helps keep this place going. And it was fortunate too, it's up on a hill. For example, Raven and Red Ash down there, another Tazewell County operation, didn't survive because it's too close to the river. Clinch River floods took out a lot of the homes, and then you also had certain things like fires and neglect, and it all combined, and then the road, the 4-lane came through and knocked some of it out. But Jewell Ridge is still in really good condition comparatively. And the fact that they didn't rely on immigration so much as well. For example, Pocahontas, they brought in all these people, built all these homes. The people weren't locals. They had no ties, no family, no reason to stay after the jobs went away. So a lot of those people moved on. They hit the Hillbilly Highway and went up to you know, Cleveland, Detroit, Cincinnati, and all those places were the new hot spots for jobs. So they just moved on, took their families and moved on up there. Didn't happen here because these people already had roots. They've been here for generations, so they didn't really want to move. It was not something that they were really excited about doing. Here's the old elementary school, Jewell Ridge Elementary School. I still remember playing football against the Jewell Ridge Red Raiders. They had their own Pee Wee football team, so. But here's a look at it now. It's been converted into a community center where they still meet and have events from time to time to keep the community together. A little amphitheater. That's Jewell Ridge, and again, like I said, there's 3 major coal operations in Tazewell County. There was Pocahontas, Raven, and Red Ash, and then you had Jewell Ridge, and Jewell Ridge is in the best shape of them all. Raven, Red Ash is virtually gone, and then you've got Pocahontas, which is really in a bad state of decay because there's not the population to sustain and the neglect of those buildings. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this look around, and I'll see you on my next one.